Hi folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. I'm back. So it's currently 7:31 at night or in the evening, and I got home over 2 hours ago. So I am still exhausted and everything. So I just have one more shift and then I have my day off. So I'm happy. Next week I'm working another 6 days, which includes a kind of weird where I literally have to be at work at 11:30 on Sunday morning, and but my the service doesn't end until like 11:35. So it's like, what the heck? Like, I go to church, and I mean, could you at least schedule it for later on in the day? That would be nice. Like maybe like noon or something where I can just, go. But well, you know. Anyways, I do not want to have another conversation with my boss over that particular thing. So I'm gonna call 2.5 hours early and say, hey, look, guys, I was scheduled to come in at 11:30. My service does not get out till 11:35. I am going to be like maybe up to 10 minutes late for work. So it's not 10 minutes late to work is not a big deal. It's not like, oh, I will call like 5 minutes before my shift's supposed to start and say, hey, can't make it. I'm just like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's part of the rule. You got to call 2.5 hours early to let them know that you will be late coming in and why you're going to be late. So I'm going to pack my uniform and my pants and all that stuff and do that. But I do not have to worry about that until next week. Very happy about that. Anyways, so I have been reading on my Kindle. At some point, I'm just going to decide just to read my physical books and not get the digital version of those books because, I'm eyeing a book over there. So at some point, I will read that book only physically because I don't think the book is available, as an ebook. I don't know. Anyways, so I read at work what I like during shift, but I read at work, and I am on chapter 11 of A New Lease on Death. And so this is a Ruby and Cornelia mystery, and it starts off with a guy that's dead by the name of Jake. And how it works with ghosts is they have to believe in the idea of a ghost. So if you die and you become a ghost and you don't believe in ghosts, you will disappear. I'm guessing you go to where you're supposed to go. Anyways, Jake was a very nice man, full of life and everything. Somebody decided to give him an additional hole in his body. Right there. And, of course, the police suspect they're not going to be able to find out who killed him, and they kind of move on. But for Ruby's kind of like, yeah, let's solve this mystery. Cornelia is not exactly sure about this. She actually thinks that trying to solve this guy's death is stupid, but after a while she kind of suspects that kind of feels like maybe there's a reason for it, and at least they can find out who killed Jake and everything. So far I am enjoying this book a lot. There's wonderful banter between these two characters, and Cornelia figures out a way to communicate with Ruby, which she is very happy about. She is not terrified about living in an apartment that has a ghost. She thinks that it's great. So she's a little bit of a dick. But I'm really, really enjoying this character. Tomorrow, I don't have to be at work until like 3:30. So I am going to read probably about 5 more chapters of this book and everything. So, enjoying that. Then I read 5 more chapters. Well, I'm also on chapter 11 with the Wolf King, and I am really enjoying this book. Everyone knows I read 4 chapters this morning, and then I turned around and read chapters 5 through 10 of this book. So this is it. I'm not going to read any more of the book. I do have a couple more books that I am going to be reading that I really do want to read. So, yeah. So another thing that I did was I read several more chapters of Perfectly Royal, and there has so far not been a dead body. So yeah, that was a little different. Other than that, I really did not read much. I think I might have read a little bit of so yeah, I'm on chapter 39 of the Mudflats Murder, and the Mudflats Murder Club is very different than other like murder clubs, because the people that are part of it, they have been in law enforcement. So like they're forensic investigators, they're police officers, they're detectives, they're, a couple, I think there might be a coroner in there or something. Their job is to put a forensic angle to this particular work. So this is very different from like the books I've read in the past, where you have this amateur detective and there's no like team behind them. So these people, even though they've left the field, they still haven't really left, because you can't really leave what you have done for a long time. So tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and purchase all 3 of these books, and I'm also going to request or reserve book number 4. That book is actually coming out let's see here. Oh man. This is January 6th, 26th of 2027. I'm going to go ahead and pre-order it. So, so let's see here. I'm not gonna do this one's September 1st, so I'm just not gonna do that because there's like yeah. Alright, so there's Unlikely Murder Club, a humorous senior sleuth mystery, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, so I just went ahead and reserved that book that, like I said, that's coming out in January. I should have all 3 books read by January, then I could just start on the 4th book. Okay, so I got chapter 6 of Murder Thy Neighbor finished. I'm going to be working on chapters probably 7 and 8. I am I believe on page number 23 or 24. So I'm going to actually work today to get to page 30. So yeah, so I did a couple pages, so my goal is to get to page 30 today. And that means I'm going to have probably about 60 more pages to go, because my goal is to get to page 90 of the book, and then I'm going to do a sample of the next book, which I'm going to really try to bring out next year, but we'll see what happens. I'm thinking about, so I want to release Murder by Neighbor this year, but I'm kind of wanting to like wait a little bit and get maybe the first 10 chapters of the following book finished. I'm not exactly sure, but I definitely want to have some like room. I'm gonna be like blunt about like the character of the detective. Some people are going to be like, this man is absolutely annoying. How the heck is he a detective? He doesn't have any personal skills. And that's probably why he became a detective, because he doesn't have like personal skills. I don't really know. I don't know what you have to be a detective besides being a police officer for the department for quite a number of years. But Detective Drew, yeah, his first name is Carson, but it's good. The detective is just bent and determined to prove that our girl is the killer. But think about Sabrina. That's my protagonist's name. I'm really having a lot of fun. She's a librarian. She's a librarian. She's also does like she has a degree in other things, and I kind of don't go into those degrees until like book number 2. But for people that want to know, she is not only is she a librarian, but she is a archaeologist and anthropologist. She specializes in ancient texts, and one of the things I'm going to be putting in the book is going to be a scroll that one of the booksellers gets in that she has to analyze or has to look over. But yeah, so I'm doing that. So everyone wants to know what area of the world does she specialize in. She specializes in let's see here, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Egypt, believe, yeah, any places that had was former Persian Empire, any empire that is in like the Bible is, she does like Mesopotamia. She has gone to what used to be those kinds of places. So she uses, I just how I'm going to try to say this. She's a Christian that happens to be an archaeologist, an anthropologist, but also she is a librarian and all that. She basically did things that got her parents mad at her. But one of the things that she is in this book is she's got what we call a spine of steel. Alright, might be my word, a steel spine, and she does not back down. And instead of her trauma making her this fragile kind of woman, it turned her into a bulldog that doesn't back down from anything. So I hope that explained the character of Sabrina pretty well. I doubt I explained the character very well. But I'm definitely going to have to do some research to make it more believable, because I'm not an archaeologist or anthropologist. So that's going to be very easy to do. It's probably going to take me maybe like a week or so to do. But I'm definitely going to put that in there and all that. And I'm kind of working up this whole idea of exactly why Mr. Wong was murdered and who would have benefited from his murder. So one of the things that you will definitely see in the book is like he went to this really the lady that explains what she does is she deals in very rare books, and she deals mainly in like Christianity in like North Korea / South Korea, or Korea in general. And he was looking for text that is from that particular period. So anyways, that is my video. I really should like explain this in much more detail of exactly what kind of character you're going to be introduced to when this book comes out in November. So even though the first book is titled Murder Thy Neighbor, I'm not going to base all my titles on the kind of twisting Bible verses. I'm definitely going to be gearing more towards the archaeology, anthropology kind of words and titles, and stuff like that. And I do have plans of her digitally unwrapping a mummy. I have to do that. I do freaking do that. So anyways, that is, people just love that type of stuff. People just love the digital unwrapping of mummies, because mummy unwrapping has had a very weird and kind of sick past. So yeah, so she's very much of an adventurous kind of person and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to definitely explain more about this, because I'm really super excited about this character, and writing her has been absolutely amazing, and I'm really enjoying it. So anyways, yeah, so I'm just going into more detail about her as a character so that you guys can understand more about her, and hopefully that will get you interested in picking up the book. Alrighty, I will see you guys in the next video.